I want to start off by telling a little story. Yesterday night, I was walking through Sydney streets, Sydney CBD, and I came across a group of people that were chanting and dancing the Hare Krishnas. They were singing the mantra Hare Krishna, Rama Rama. The famous mantra that you often hear them sing in the streets or in a meditation session. And one of the ladies that was part of that group, I had actually met her the last Thursday at a mantra meditation session, sort of like just in a little room over in King's Cross in Darlinghurst. And so I saw her, and she waved at me and said, "Come, come, come, join." So I ended up joining in with this group, and we went along the streets. We went along the streets, chanting, smiling, spreading great energy, spreading joyous energy, just having a great time. And honestly, it was one of the most surreal experiences I've had. Because usually when you're walking in a crowded street, everyone's in their own vibes. No one's interacting with each other. Everyone's very disconnected. You also see people that might look sullen or angry or depressed or just in their own vibes. There's some homeless people. There's all sorts of chaos happening. But overall, there's a lot of disconnection between people. And so we were walking along the streets, and all these eyes were on you. You noticed everyone was like looking, like, "Oh, what's happening over here? What's happening?" As we paraded down the streets. Now, the lesson really starts with owning your frame and owning who you are and how you want to show up in the world. How does this relate? Well, I noticed that there were very different reactions that people had towards what was going on. Some people smiled or waved back when we waved to them. Some people joined in the dancing, but that was very, very few people. Maybe one person, along every street, one or two people out of like hundreds. So very few people actually decided to join in and dance with us. We had some people that had more shy reactions, some people nervous smile, some people looked fearful, some people looked concerned, like what was going on, this is wrong, this is not right. You actually could see a lot of fear or anxiety in some people because this was so, out of the norm for them. Or I actually don't know what was going on in their head, but, you could see fear that was being evoked. You could see sort of anger or different emotions being evoked in different people. And the key here, and finally, you even could see people were blocked off to it. So, we're parading down the street, smiling, and I noticed that some people just like turned the other way, didn't want to look, didn't show eye contact, in their own vibe. And different ethnicities also reacted to what was happening in different ways, and people from different backgrounds. The lesson here, and the lesson I learned from this, is that people react to situations in very different and often polarizing ways. As I said before, some people loved it. Some people, it might have even made their day. It was such a joyous kind of interaction or fun, spreading joy. Other people didn't like it. Other people were afraid. Other people were angry. Other people were blocked off or in their own vibe or didn't even want to look. And so you could start to see how there's this wide spectrum of how people perceive something that is going on. Now, what if I internalized how people perceived what was going on? What if I saw a couple people not liking it and saying, "Ooh, what I was doing is wrong, it's shameful, it's bad, I can't do that, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't dance in the streets, it's wrong to dance on the streets." What if I internalized that and then I became ashamed of it because I thought something was wrong about me? Can you start to see how damaging that could be for your self-esteem? And so we do that in our lives. We do that when we go through some hardship, when somebody doesn't like something we do, when we get rejected by somebody we find attractive. It can be easy to feel like there's something wrong or defective about us. If we choose to become a victim and internalize what they think about us, rather than deciding, this is how I want to show up and be in the world. And so the key here, this lesson, is that there's such a wide spectrum of how people see you. What somebody might hate, another person could love. Another person could be benefited from. And so you, as an individual, you need to decide how you are going to show up in this world. Instead of walking on eggshells for other people, put out your best intention. Trust in yourself and your own actions. Trust in what you believe in. Because I know that you know how you want to show up in the world. I know that you really do, behind all the things that might be causing you confusion. If you push them to the side, if you could let go of those things, don't you already know what you like, how you want to show up in the world, beyond all those things that are confusing you, that are causing you shame or guilt or negative emotions or contractions, any sort of emotional contraction? Don't you already know? If you want to dance on the street, do it. Who's saying it's bad? Isn't it crazy that in society, dancing on the street is seen as more odd than looking depressed, looking like you want to kill yourself, looking like things are going wrong? Isn't that crazy? That is more normal. And so I think I've rambled enough. But yes, please share your thoughts on this topic. Because yesterday, this small, random thing that happened, in my life, that I just came across a dancing group and joined them, that really taught me a deep lesson. And I'm really grateful for that lesson. And to add to that, I had a chat with Vishrant, who is an enlightened sort of master. I was chatting with him, and I mentioned this. And he told me, if you were totally in your own joyous heart, you wouldn't even see the other people. You wouldn't even see the other people, because you'd be having so much joy in yourself that whatever happens outside of you is irrelevant. Whatever judgments or whatever people think of you, that doesn't matter. Who cares? And so that's something I'm moving towards. And that's an area that I can now see, wow, that's actually a possibility. Even letting go of the interest or the thoughts about how other people are perceiving you while you are taking the action towards. Yes. Hope you learned something. Enjoyed this little story. Catch you later.